I can't believe there's that much flavor. That is unbelievable. Hey everybody, welcome to the Lodge Kitchen. My name is Chef Chris and I'm so excited to bring to you our December recipe of the month. It's the holiday season, and for that we're gonna do a standing rib roast in a 10¼ inch cast iron skillet. This thing's amazing, but also with the beef drippings, we're gonna be making Yorkshire pudding. This is gonna be unbelievable. Let's go, go, go. Look at this. This is a standing rib roast. It's unbelievable. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna season this really well on all sides, and then we're gonna reverse sear it. So to do that, I'm gonna chop up some garlic and some herbs. I have 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, and basically we're just gonna mince this up. We're gonna get this all nice and mixed up together, and we've got salt and pepper that's going to go into. And I want this really fine. Just gonna run my knife through that a ton of times. So we've minced our garlic, looks amazing, very, very uniform. Now I'm gloved up because I'm about to have my hands all over this standing rib roast. But what I'm gonna do right now is just strip the rosemary off, and then I'm gonna take some of these thyme leaves, just break those off in there as well. And what I'm doing is creating a rub, and we are going to have that with our salt and pepper right here. So I'm just gonna run my knife through these a bunch of times. What that's gonna do is help infuse flavor into our protein. Beautiful. Now I'm just gonna mix all that together, and that's gonna go into my salt and pepper. Look at that. That looks awesome. It smells even better. So we have our standing rib roast, and I'm just gonna take, little bits at a time. Just gonna rub that into the top all around. The standing rib roast is already cut off the bone mostly, so you're gonna see me open it up. And they do that so it's easier for you to carve at the end of your meal. But I'm just taking this rub, making sure that I get really nice and even all over my roast. So next up, we're gonna tie this together with butcher's twine because I don't want this meat to start pulling away. I want it to cook super evenly and keep its shape. We're gonna take our butcher's twine and I'm gonna run it alongside, and what I'm gonna do is take the string that's towards my body and wrap that around my finger, and I'm gonna tuck that through. If I can find it, there we go. All right, and what that's gonna do is create a knot that'll slip. And I always like to put it on the bone side, because if I put it here, then that knot can get down in the fat when it's being rendered. So now I'm just gonna tie that off. Scissors, we're just gonna cut off the extra bit. We're gonna do that again in the middle and then to the right-hand side of that button. So this looks amazing. It's exactly what I wanna see. My ropes are just gonna keep everything all nice and tight. So now I'm just gonna place this in our 10¼ inch skillet, but I'm gonna do it so that it sits down on those bones, and those bones are gonna lift it up out of the skillet a little bit. And what that's gonna do is make sure that my protein cooks super evenly. We're also doing a reverse sear on this, so I've got an oven at 250 degrees. So we wanna make sure that we bring this temperature up nice and slowly, and then we're gonna sear it off at the end. I'm also going to insert a meat thermometer in here so that we can make sure my target temp is gonna be 130 degrees. And that's gonna get us to medium rare. So I've got my meat thermometer right here. This is a fancy one, but you guys can use whatever you have. If you've got the old school, that'll work too. This is gonna fly into our 250 degree oven. It's gonna go about 2.5 hours. Standing rib roast traditionally gets a horseradish sauce, so that's what we're gonna do right now. I've got some sour cream. We've got mayonnaise. We always use Duke's mayonnaise here in the Lodge Kitchen. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of horseradish. If you like yours more horseradishy, guess what? You can add more. And if you don't like it as horseradishy, then hold your horseradishes. I'm gonna hit it with maybe 2 dashes of hot sauce. If you don't like it hot, not a big deal. Don't skip out on the cider vinegar though. We're gonna do about a teaspoon, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. I'm gonna give this a nice mix. I would recommend making this at least 30 minutes before so that everything can kind of mellow together. That's exactly the consistency I'm looking for. If you want it to be a little thinner, add a little heavy cream in there, water if you wanted to. I like mine to be nice and gloppable. That's a word, I just made it up. So this is gonna fly into my refrigerator. It's been about 2.5 hours. We should check on that standing rib roast. You guys feeling the holiday season? Because I sure as heck am. Look how awesome this looks. 135 degrees, so we're right at medium rare. What I'm gonna do now is take this off. We're gonna put it onto a cutting board. Then we're gonna give it a really good sear. Now we have the beef drippings. Do not get rid of these beef drippings, okay? We're gonna get a little bit more in this pan, and we're gonna use those for our Yorkshire pudding. We're gonna hit this over about medium heat. Let that go 3 or 4 minutes. It'll start to sizzle. I'm gonna add our standing rib roast just straight into that nice and hot skillet. We're gonna let this cook about 1 to 2 minutes per side, and I'm really just trying to develop that crust. Look at that. That looks unbelievable. That's actually gonna have a crunch to it, which I love. We're gonna just set this right over here to rest. We've already killed the heat. Now we're gonna capture those beef drippings. But first, whew, how do I look? We have our beef tallow, that's just the beef fat. And I have a fish spatula. You guys know how I feel about fish spatulas. They're kind of my thing, that and cast iron skillet. So I'm just gonna make sure that I only get the fat, really. And that's gonna be the vehicle that drives our Yorkshire pudding. Right there is just flavor. Another thing I need to do is I need to kick the oven up to 450 degrees and put my beautiful muffin pan in it. What that's gonna do, we want this screaming hot before we add the beef tallow to it. We're gonna treat it just like a Dutch baby or a popover. They're just gonna spring up and be unbelievable. All right, our standing rib roast is basically done and it's resting. We are preheating our muffin pan as we speak, and we're gonna whip up the batter for our Yorkshire pudding. It comes together super quickly. We've got flour, we have milk, a little bit of salt, and we're gonna do 3 eggs. Now remember, we're gonna save those beef drippings, and if you've ever made a Dutch baby, it's very similar. So I'm just wanna whip this together and make it really smooth. I wanna get all those lumps out. Super thin, that's exactly what I wanna see. And I have this pancake dispenser. You don't have to use this. You can put it in a measuring cup, put it in a deli container and pour it out. This is just something that I have, and it makes it super easy. I am just going to try not to make a mess. Now I'm gonna let this just hang out, let those bubbles work their way out, and then we're going to show you how easy it is to make the most amazing Yorkshire pudding. It's Yorkshire pudding time. We've got our batter, we've got our screaming hot cast iron. Let's get them all together. This is a 6-well muffin pan. I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons in each one of the wells, and this is the rendered beef fat. And I'm trying to do this pretty quickly because I wanna maintain as much heat as I can. We're just gonna go 3/4 of the way full, maybe a little more than that. You can already see that hot cast iron doing its job. You're gonna go back into our 450 degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Our Yorkshire pudding is in the oven and it's looking spectacular. So I'm gonna slice our standing rib roast. This has been resting for about 15 minutes. I'm just gonna cut that butcher's twine, and then I'm gonna take the knot and pull. We have our beautiful standing rib roast. It's done an amazing job. The bones were just there to keep it off of our cast iron skillet. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna rock those bones back, and we are just going to cut those off. What I'm gonna do now is show you what the reverse sear method gets us. So we should have wall-to-wall pink throughout the cut. That's 135, so we're in the medium rare to medium range. This is unbelievable. The flavor is just packed and just incredible. Slide this to the side and we will come right back to you. Look at that. Yorkshire pudding, super simple, just a few ingredients. I always am gonna put my Yorkshire pudding in after I've carved my meat so that people get them when they're nice and hot, because these are gonna start to fall almost immediately. They have to be 4 inches tall to be considered Yorkshire pudding. Okay, we are about 4.5 inches tall. Like, we did it, folks. We Yorkshired the pudding. I'm gonna slide this to the side, and there's nothing else to do other than plate and eat. My favorite part. This is an epic, epic meal. These are gonna be hot. Do not do this at home. Use a fork. I have desensitized myself. So you see that? The fat dripping? That's just flavor. I really want to dive into this right now, but we made that awesome horseradish sauce. You can use a lot or a little of this, folks. I'm gonna give it just a good dollop, a bit of a schmear, if you will. We have some chives. G with your eyes first. A lot of people serve this with gravy. I like the sweet and savory component, so I'm gonna do just a massive drizzle of honey right over these guys. Just wanna show you how epic this is. You see that? All right, I wanna make sure I get that crust. That's living right there, folks. The flavor off of the exterior of this is unbelievable. Oh, this might make me cry. I may cry. I may actually cry. I can't believe there's that much flavor with that little effort. It's crispy, it's soft in all the places it needs to be. Goodness gracious. This is our standing rib roast. It's December's recipe of the month. Thank you guys so much for following us through the year. I'm gonna keep digging into this. Happy holidays. I love you. Bye. I need hands! Hands! Where am I? Here, thanks. I don't have an end. That's it.